Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Marcus Conti reporting. How you doing? How you doing? Day before the big holiday. Last day together before the big holiday, and let's try to be mindful. Let's try to be understanding and mindful and deeply open to whatever happens in our lives together. Uh, good morning, everybody. Today, a couple of interesting stories. Sam Bankman-Fried, the very, very notorious Wall Street thief that allegedly stole billions of dollars from rich people, got released. Got released. They put up bail. They set bail for Sam Bankman-Fried unexpectedly. I didn't think they were going to do that, but unexpectedly, Southern District of New York judge has allowed Sam Bankman-Fried to walk out the door on a whopping, unprecedented, enormous $250 million, I believe, cash bond. I think you pay like 10% of that. So someone came up with $25 million to spring Sam Bankman-Fried out of the can while he's awaiting trial. And he'll be in house arrest in mommy and daddy's house out in California, where he'll be safe or available at least. So, oh boy, the cold. It's 50. What is it right now? It's like 50 degrees, 40, 50 degrees here in Northeast Pennsylvania. Ready for a whopping Christmas 5 degrees, freezing. It rained and now it's going to be freezing. So watch yourself. Watch yourself in the chat. Get rid of that sex find info guy. Get rid of that, please. Get rid of that. We got a troll in the chat. See people trying to sell their sex. You see that sex info? I'll do it. I'll do it. Remove. Put user. Remove. Get rid of that. Thank you. Thank you, Vinny DiMartini, for the wrench. What was I saying before? What was I saying before I interrupted myself? Because no one on earth can possibly disrupt me. This is a fascinating story too. I find this incredibly interesting story of a something that happened in Walmart in, it looks like, Arkansas. And a radicalized, jacked up woman, 21, wearing a fucking, I don't know, a baby Gap over some kind of black, a black woman, young black woman, mumbling to herself, like, carrying a gun, takes a hostage, takes the very large white woman hostage. And she demands that a news anchor, you heard it right, her demand was, get me a news anchor right now. She wanted to tell somebody something, and it didn't get a chance. She never harmed the big fat white woman. In fact, she put her hands on her and made maybe scared a turd out of her, down her leg or something, but didn't harm her until the police stepped in, never harmed the woman, and the police riddled the radicalized woman with the gun and shot her dead. Blue, 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 blah, 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 bing, ba, 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 boom. So it is an interesting story how you might perceive this. So some might perceive it as radicalization of Black America, and I don't know, her target was a big fat white woman of privilege, right? She's got privilege. Look how much she eats, or something like that. You don't really know. So we'll explore that. Just the facts. We have the video of the incident of her with a gun in her hand, and we don't see the police shoot her, but we know they did because they told us they did. So we'll look at that story. We'll try to be compassionate, understanding of what's happening here, so that maybe we could prevent it from happening again, I guess. I don't know. And what else? I told you about Sam Bankman-Fried. What else? We got one. Oh, January 6th. Holy smokes. There is a conspiracy theorist panel in your government sitting in the halls of Congress 2.5 years later, trying to literally frame the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, as a insurgent, someone who tried to overthrow a duly, executed election in America. But of course, that doesn't appear to be the truth. What happened on January 6th appears to be something more mundane, where it looks like people in America rose up, a sect of Americans, a very small majority, although many people may have had that feeling and that sentiment about an election not being very fair. A small majority of people showed up on the steps of Congress to push their way in and be heard once and for all. And that's, by definition, that's a good protest. Did they harm anybody in doing so? Did they scare some people? Yeah, they did. They scared a couple of people, They scared, executives and politicians and people who think they're above the law. But on a greater scale, and I would almost guarantee, in 20 years, we'll look back on this as a pivotal moment in American history, not because of some sort of fictitious insurgents by what they're trying to, call domestic terrorists, regular American people that have an opinion. But they'll look back on it and say, this was Trump's greatest moment, where although Trump could have addressed election interference and lack of fair elections in our country, he could have done that while he was president. But human nature is not as such. Human nature and greed kicks in. I have power now. And Trump, for the most part, thought that since he had power, the problem had gone away. And when opportunity arose to shut Trump down and shut him up and get rid of him once and for all by an FBI who Trump himself had vilified as being conspiratorial against him, that same FBI took the opportunity to drive the hatchet in his back. And all of the politicians that Trump challenged with, discourse and dialogue lined up against him to call him an insurgent, a threat to American democracy. But so we'll look at that story. Everybody knows the story, but it is interesting that you have a panel of conspiratorial motherfuckers, Liz Cheney, people like Liz Cheney, Adam Schiff, who are breathlessly, without breath, they don't take a breath, trying to spin the narrative that this event of January 6th is somehow different than any other political rally in American history. And it simply is not. Hundreds of rallies occurred in and around the same time, mostly by what appears to be highly radicalized black Americans who feel that their country is deeply racist without any evidence, really. There is evidence of racism in America, but not at the scale that they're projecting. But those rallies are allowed to happen, and in fact, they're actually encouraged. But when regular citizens stand up and say, enough of the election shenanigans, can we please kindly go to one person, one vote finally and end all this? Look, elections shouldn't be, in the final analysis, elections should not be opinion, really. They should be, elections are mathematical, at least in my view. An election is mathematical. How many people say this guy And how many people say that guy? That's all that really matters in an election. All the politicking, all the conspiracy theory that surrounds it shouldn't matter. The sacred cow in an election is math, right? And that math is arguably fuzzy. You remember the term fuzzy math? So anyway, so we love everybody. We're going to try to love the I don't know, the young black woman taking the very large white woman hostage in Walmart, demanding an anchor. And in the same breath, we'll try to forgive the people that may have pushed a little too far on January 6th, trying to handcuff Nancy Pelosi. So we try to understand everybody here, and we try to understand what's happening to Patsy Sam Bankman-Fried, who is now sitting in mommy and daddy's house. 2 months ago, he was a mega billionaire on vacation in the Bahamas. Sam won't be going to the Bahamas anytime soon on any vacation. So we'll look at those fine stories. My name is Marcus Conte, and we'll also break to the Google Meet that will happen. Anybody who wants to come on the show and chat with us will come on down, man. Come on down, and you just click on the link, and I'll talk about that more later. Don't hit it now because there's nobody there. You'll join me in the space capsule later. So I have a website, and every morning at 9 a.m. we're live. We are an independent news and opinion, mindfulness-driven presentation. You might call that comedy, with a little stock market bliss. We'll break to the markets in a little while, too. Last trading day before Christmas. Will we get the big Santa Claus rally on our way out? I hope so. If you don't know where we are, we have a serious plaguing problem in America of censorship. And sometimes you say something that triggers somebody else of power. And they point to a rule that doesn't make sense and justify their actions to shut you up as justifiably breaking their rule. And for some reason, you just disappear. So if that should happen on this fine platform, we hope it doesn't. We hope that free speech in America, Americans speaking freely in America, which I am an American, I am in America on American soil, speaking openly and honestly, or maybe, I don't know, I'm just speaking. Whether it's open or honest doesn't really matter. I'm speaking. And if that privilege, that it's not even a privilege, if that right is taken away from this reporter, then you just join us somewhere else. We'll go somewhere else where that sort of thing is not happening. And at 9 a.m., just come here and click the link, and you'll find out where we are. So thank you all for joining me. Again, what is, we're living in a time of mental barriers being violated. Here's a situation where a woman, UK woman arrested for silently praying across from an abortion clinic. Now, before we watch the video, to the credit or the police who are doing this deed of taking a woman who is quietly praying in her head on a street in London, arresting her for doing that, is not really outside of the law. And there lies the problem. In England, this is legal. You are not allowed to pray or meditate near an abortion clinic. That's a real law. Like, you're not allowed, you're on this, why not put the abortion clinic on private property somewhere where it's not on a public street? The abortion clinic, in a sense, is violating the rights of the people who pass by. You can't say this, you can't say that when you pass our clinic. But the essence of it is a woman is standing on the corner praying, and the police do their job and arrest her for praying. Let's watch and see. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I don't know. Let's watch.
For today.
Physically, I'm just standing here.
Okay. Why here of all places? I know you don't live nearby.
But this is an abortion centre.
Okay. That's why you're stood. Is you standing?
The English the English is pretty thick accent, so we'll read it in a second. But on view, there's a cop car. There's two cops. There's a woman with her hands in her pockets. I'm surprised they didn't tell her take your hands out of your pockets.
You part of the pro.
She's dressed kind of stylishly, youngish, blonde hair, sexy looking woman. Young cop, about probably the same age. Another cop, no guns drawn. But again, the posture of the police speak volumes. All right.
Protest?
No. I'm not protesting.
Are you praying?
I might be praying in my head.
So I'll ask you once more, will you voluntarily come with us now to the police station for me to ask you some questions about today and other days where there are allegations that you've broken public spaces protection?
If I've got a choice, then no.
Okay, well then you're under arrest. Okay?
You're under arrest.
Failing to comply with the public spaces protection order, which is under the Antisocial Behaviour Crime Policing Act 2014. Now, of course, you do not have to say anything. It may harm your defence if you do not mention when questioned something which you later on in court, anything you do say may be given in court. Do you understand the caution?
I do.
So holy shit. She got arrested. You can't make it up. You cannot make it up. Look at some of the tweets. Police, so you saw it, and the officer, well, let's read what she said because it's hard to hear what was being said. Those watching the woman's arrest, after admitting she was praying in my head, she told the police when they asked her, "Are you praying?" And she said, "I might be praying in my head." Praying in your head. It's not even vocal. You're not allowed to have a certain thought process, which praying is. I'm praying. I pray that all sentient beings are free of this type of crime against humanity, right? Killing unborn. That's what she's praying for, right? Or maybe she's just praying that the police go away. Or maybe she's praying for the police, saying, "I'm praying for you that you have a wonderful life." You don't know what she's praying for, but the idea of an affirmative prayer in a certain location that is politically on fire, abortion, you're not allowed to do that. You cannot pray. What is in your mind? Empty your mind, goddammit. Or, the solution to this is just don't say anything, really. Don't tell people what you're doing. Yeah, nobody, who could see what you're doing in your head? You're just standing there on a corner. You're standing there, goddammit. Officers ask, "Are you praying?" To which she responds, "I might be praying in my head." The officer then asked her if she'd be willing to go to the station, which she said, "If I've got a choice, then no." And then they arrested her. And this is happening in England for, what appears to be people are literally being arrested for thought crimes in the UK. Free speech is not a Western value. It's a uniquely American one. Well, if you're watching abroad, this broadcast from America, I can tell you that free speech is not uniquely American. In fact, it's not really allowed fully here in America. See, there's subtle, so you can pray on the street, but you can't bring other, you can't rally on social media for your opinion, right? So free speech is not really an American thing, something that exists in America per se. It's a theory, right? Sort of, right? I think. But anyway, there you go. There's the evidence. I don't know how you feel about that. Oh, look, it's David Bowie and his brilliant guitar player. Why are they on there? But sad day. Let's look at here. Sam Bankman-Fried. Holy shit, Sam Bankman-Fried. Released on record. Look at the numbers. $250 million bond placed under house arrest. Oh, my God. Sam, what did you do, Sam? Sam, why did you rock the fucking apple cart, Sam? Why did you go to the SEC guy twice and say that you were gonna tell all to Congress? That's what it appears to be. You were gonna do a tell all to Congress with Maxine Waters leading the charge, and incriminate very, very powerful people who may have used your scam money to get elected and might have to give it back. We can't have that, Sam. Sam, are you paying attention, Sam? This is our fucking game. You don't get to be the leader of the game. You do as you're told. Right? And when you don't do as you're told, Sam, you get locked up. That's what's happened. But Sam has got his little goodie bag. He's back in mommy and daddy's house. Here he is coming out of Epstein Court, which he'll be back for very soon. But what a luxury. Sam Bankman-Fried, $250 million came out of his ass somehow. I think his parents put the money up. His parents are rich lawyers, and maybe they just had access to his monies that are stashed somewhere off the radar. But nonetheless, his parents bailed him out. He bailed him out, and he walked. There's his mother. That's his father, and he walked out of Epstein Court. And he's home. There he is. He's in California, Palo Alto, California, under house arrest with an ankle bracelet on. And the home is worth $4 million that he's staying in, but he put up $250 million. So where did the money come from? Who put up? How did the parents, who only own a house for $4 million, maybe a net worth of $10 million, $12 million, where did they come up with $250 million? So someone got Sam out of the can. Sam got sprung mysteriously. I'm highly suspicious of this story, for good reason. So we've got to now follow the story. Why was Sam Bankman-Fried allowed to be out? Or maybe in those, in that context, he's saying guilty. I'll do it. I won't peep a word. That's it. I'm guilty. I did everything. Sam Bankman-Fried is about to take full responsibility of the shenanigans. And I guess the powers that be, they don't want to kill him. They don't want to put him in prison for the rest of his life, because that would be fucked up. Right? Because then other rich guys who come along in his trail will also be thrown in the can, looking at a $250 million bail. So for whatever reason, Sam Bankman-Fried was allowed to walk, and I would call that a permanent walk. I don't think Friedman is going to be, he's not going to be Epstein. He's not going to be Caesar Sayoc, where he disappears forever. So that's what it appears to be. Well, they let him out a little bit. He's not living the life of a jailbird. He's not living in a little cage in an isolation chamber in Brooklyn, New York, Metropolitan fucking Correctional, federal jail. Instead, he's home with mommy and daddy. He's able to step out onto the steps and give a press conference and such. So there you go, man. So that's the breaking story on Sam Bankman-Fried. Let's talk about Trump. Trump January 6th panel says it's damning final report. Trump tried to overturn 200 times the 2020 presidential election between him and Joe Biden. What does it mean to overturn an election? What does that mean? I don't understand that. Seems to be a stretch. What did Trump try to do? Trump brought attention to grotesque, unequivocal, in-your-face discrepancies in our election system. And it does seem that the FBI I mean, if you want the evidence, follow the Twitter files all the way to the end, and you see how government oppresses and or suppresses the voices of the people and interferes in elections, interferes in public discourse, using law enforcement to do it. So Trump was merely pointing that out, and for that he's trying to overturn the election. Well, so be it. If someone uses shenanigans to win an election, and you point it out, shouldn't that election at least not be valid? Maybe you get a do-over. Maybe you no. In this country, we say, "Tough shit, Sherlock. Tough. You lost, man. Well, it doesn't matter if we cheated, or we manipulated, or we fucked you and your stupid racist people. Fuck you. Try better luck next time," they say. Right? This is about money, man. The corporations need you out of the way, Trump, or something like that, right? So again, ridiculous. Does it hurt Trump, really? No. Trump is a skilled big boy with big boy pants. And I just think upon looking at this, see, if Trump were to fold his cards, if Trump were to be a coward like Bernie Sanders and run away and say, "Oh, no, there is no election fraud, this is just what happens," it would be a different scenario. But Trump is not doing that. Trump is maybe this is what was supposed to happen. Trump was supposed to lose, and then we were all supposed to see it, and then Trump runs again on the idea of cleansing America, purging America of its unholiness, and maybe we get to a one-person, one-vote system finally. Maybe that's what was supposed to happen. Maybe, Trump is a tool in a sense, but we all are, really. And, here's the images of patriots climbing the wall of the steps of Congress. They wanted their voices heard. No one was listening. No one was listening. They were crying from the rooftops. Nobody would listen to us. And so the dirty politicians who didn't listen to them become the aggressors. Right? They want to stop us. They want to hurt us. They want to lock us up. Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff. Oh, my God. It's just such bad. Your tax money. Your politicians lobbying to shut down anything that runs in the face of their narrative, really. There you go. So let's look at the big story. Here we go. Here's what do we see on face value? We see a very shocked, almost pig-like, large white woman, big arms, big body. Looks like maybe twice the size of a normal human. Being accosted from behind by a black leotard wearing woman with a leather jacket and a pink thong over her black leotards. Somewhat stylish and sexy in a black culture way. Pretty kind of woman. If she wasn't buck-ass crazy, I might bring her into the sack. If I were 21, I'd be like, "Come on, man, let's go, you and me, right?" She's a sexy woman. I don't feel the same way about you're a misogynist, Conti. You're coming from a sexist point of view. No. I am who I am. I am a middle-aged, I guess approaching elderly male, white male in America. And hey, I can remember I can remember my youth. I know 40 years ago, but I remember what a boner placing one head ahead of the other feels like. So I can look at these two images and say one is sexy and the other one is fat, but that's not the point, right? That's how I perceive it. But on a greater scale, why did the sexy black girl with the pink leotard have a gun in her hand demanding that the media report immediately. Right? Anybody could have listened to it. Anybody could have stand up and said, yeah, well, yeah, I'm an anchor. I'm an anchor. Everything you say is going to be broadcasted on YouTube. Go ahead. We're listening. What's on your mind? Instead, the police are, drop the fucking gun. Drop the fucking gun. Drop the gun. We're going to kill you. Drop the gun. Drop the gun. Drop the gun. Drop the gun. That's what happens. That's how the police handle it. Drop the gun. Drop the gun. Drop the gun. Drop the gun, motherfucker. Drop it. Drop it. Just can I speak to the press? Drop the fucking gun, motherfucker. We're going to kill you. That's what happens. That's how the police handle it. Right? It's really, that's how we do it here in America. Right? That's how we handle mental illness. If it is mental illness, is it racism? Ooh, did I speak the R word? Is this racism? Is the black woman's in the black? We should have a law. We should be allowed to analyze the black woman's mind and find out, was this racial or not? Where is the mainstream media to say that here's a young black accosting a worker, a white worker at Walmart? Isn't it racist? Right? If it were the other way around, if the woman in the leotard was, I don't know, someone who looked more like Kyle Rittenhouse, a young white guy with a gun, and the woman was a big fat black woman, right, then it would be racism, right? If the guy had a assault rifle, the young white man with an assault rifle walks in and accosts or even a pistol, and takes a big fat black woman hostage, I would speculate that the racist majority in America, the racist masses, would call it racism. See, it's racism, and they'd be out there with the signs protesting. But when it's the other way around, we're directed towards mental illness by law enforcement. It's mental illness. It's not racism. Where's racism? Where's racism? It's only just a black and a white, then it can't be racism, because the black is the one who's oppressed. There's no racism here. Or is there? I don't know. But let's listen to the story. So let's watch the video. Fuck that. Oh, we watched the video already. Did we watch the video? Let's watch the video again. So here it is. Let's zero in on the body language of the girl with the gun, the sexy black with the gun. She has a gun in her hand. There's no doubt about it. And let's just watch her body language. Is she strung out on something? She looks a little wound up to me. She's hobbing and bobbing. Maybe she's got to take a piss. The jaw is moving. She's doing this. What kind of evidence? What kind of drug makes you go like this? Is it a drug? I don't know. It looks like it. Let's keep going. Let's watch the jaw. Let's watch her jaw action. Oh, she's hopping, man. She's hopped up on something. I thought Walmart has a no-gun policy. The white woman is playing it very, very smartly. She's not, I mean, look, if it were me being held like that, I would be very, very calm. And then in a moment of abruptness, I would literally flatten the black woman with the gun, right? She's being held on her right side, but the black woman is not paying attention to her. So you wait, and then, if you can throw a good punch and know that it might be your last punch if you miss, right? Take the black woman out. Just take her out. Boom. But she didn't do that. She played it a little different, and arguably allowed herself to get shot with the gun. that's a very easy person. The attacker is a very easy person to take out, but not when you're big and fat and you don't know you don't have any sense of your body. Then you just have to do what you're told. All right. But if you train in the arts, look at that gun. There's the gun. See, if you don't think there's a gun, there it is. Bang! Right there. There's the gun. There it is. You see the gun? All right. Confirmed. So let's see what people are saying. This is fun. It's clear that this woman was having a mental issue. It looks like she was having a breakdown, but I need more context, says somebody. Somebody else says, it's the cop's fault, though, right? After they shot her. In a cynical note, somebody says, is she speaking English? No, it's Ebonics. Don't discredit the woman, man. You're racist. Every second counts. Nice shot. I think they're referring to the angle that the person filming it got. Everyday occurrence in our country. No one is safe. Maybe. Didn't she read the sign? Walmart is a gun-free zone. Bah! I said it before you. Man. Interesting, the different reactions. Actually, I read it first. I'm lying. I did read that. That's a good quote, man. I stole you. I stole your fucking line, man. I stole your line. I got caught. Interesting, the different reaction for when this happens in a business versus school. Yeah, okay. All right, I get that. I love happy endings, says Paul Armbruster. Happy ending meaning she's dead. Where do you see the actual footage? I don't know. I think we saw it. New York Post, jack off. I want to see the cop's body cam. That'd be good. All right. You know what this reporter wants to see? I'll tell you what I want to see. When nobody is talking about it, right? I'll tell you the answer. The answer lies in what? Toxicology. Toxicology. What was in her blood? What was in her system? Right? Forget about what was in her head. What did she consume? Was it a little dust? Was it some kind of newfangled jack-up pill? I don't know. Was it a very, very, very high dose of hallucinogenic THC, a mushroom? I don't know. Right? In amateur hands, all of these things are very, very dangerous, but we need to see the toxicology. Yeah, see there, somebody sees her. Oh my God, this is what's going on in her mind, right? She's a fucking, even the cat knows. What was her goal there? I don't know. Good riddance. People speaking, I love Twitter today. I'm loving Twitter. Rest in peace, baby girl. Only God knows what you were doing, though. I'm sorry. So let's look a little more. Let's let some news spin. Try to understand the story a little better, a little more.
Here, we're told this incident happened around 5:45 p.m. Our crews spotted the Rankin County coroner arrive on scene later in the evening. We spoke to one witness describing that scary moment walking into Walmart for Christmas shopping just before being told to leave immediately.
Barely got in, people were running out and people were screaming, "Get out," to me and my cousin. So of course we ran out and it was just horrifying, and then we heard the gunshot, and of course there's 15 police cars here. I just counted them. And it just...
Eyewitness said she heard a gunshot, a single gunshot. Listen again.
Running out and people were screaming, "Get out," to me.
To leave immediately.
Barely got in, people were running out and people were screaming, "Get out," to me and my cousin. So of course we ran out,
right,
and it was just horrifying, and then we heard the gunshot. One
shot. Whoa, the police, because the black girl was wide open. She was wide open, right? And all she has to do is lift that. She didn't even have to lift the gun up towards the police or towards the white woman. As if that gun becomes unstable in that situation, the sharpshooter just takes her out. I mean, they got a gun right on her. They got a scope right on her fucking heart at that moment. and just give them the opportunity. Put the gun down. Put the gun down. The gun rises up. Boom, you're dead. Over.
And
One shot.
of course, there's 15 police cars here. I just counted them. And it's just terrifying.
At this time, we do not have any more information about what led to the shooting, but again, no one else was injured. Now, today we're hoping to get some more information about what led to this shooting.
All right, so I would have to say that unequivocally, the police did a good job. Although I don't like the fact that, they seem to have handled this one well, where they subdued the woman. They might have, arguably, some would argue that they didn't take her out quick enough, but they took her out when she needed to be taken out, because no one knows how many bullets are in that gun. No one knows what she's planning to do. Is she going to wait and kill everybody in her sight? You just don't know, right? Put the gun down, right? and then the story is over. It ends right there. What else do we know?
As well as the name of.
So what else we got? What else we got? Police kill West Helena AR woman. Oh, that's an interesting fact. You remember when Kyle Rittenhouse came from Illinois with a gun and defended himself in Kenosha, Wisconsin from crazy Antifas chasing him, trying to kill him? You remember when he defended himself with a gun and he was seen as carrying firearms across state lines? You remember that whole hysteria? Well, here we have a woman. Her name is Corlunda McKinster, 21 years old. She was from Arkansas. Oh, so she's in Mississippi, right? And taking a hostage at Walmart, but she's from Arkansas. So shouldn't we be talking about carrying weapons across state lines? Like, because they do it with anybody who has a white face and a gun. They look at the legality of the gun. Not a single mention of where did she get the gun. Was the gun real? Was the gun loaded? Where did she buy the gun? Right? Where did she buy the gun? Who sold her the gun? Right? There's no interrogation in that direction that I could see. Right? Why not? Right? Let's be fair. Let's find out. So there's another fact. No one's talking about it. I'm talking about it. She carried a firearm across state lines. Or maybe the gun was fake, and that's why they didn't challenge her. I want to look at the... Hold on a second. I think I could do it this way. Right? Hold on one second. I just want to black something out. I have to black something out, and so that you could see it with me. All right. So just bear with me, and I think we're good. All right. So here is her Facebook page. I want to look at her thread. All right. There's some other people, some friends and all that. I don't want to look at that. I just want to look at who posted to her site. And here she is, dating back to 2015. Let's see if we can get a mental observation of who she is from her Facebook page that hasn't been torn down yet. She looks like a 2015, still a young person. I don't know, with her homegirls, and there she is. Right? Nothing racially driven, I don't see. I just see, a young black woman, right? Showing you her ass, giving you some ass. All right, there's a baby picture, right? Nothing like fuck them white people, motherfucker. Right? None of that racial nonsense. Or at least not right now. Maybe somebody took it down. I don't know. But this is one day later after the attack. I'm sure this is all going to be gone. Right? I don't see anything of a racial nature. Right? Just, dude, leave me alone. Racism right here. She says, mix my niggas like crazy. Mix my niggas like crazy. I don't know what that means, but niggas usually, fuck you, man. Fuck you. I just don't want people looking at her. I messed this up, man. You see what I'm saying, right? So, mix my niggas like crazy. Stop snitching. Right. So, there's only a little, very, very routine, common black racism, calling everybody nigga. So we could say, arguably, that there's nothing in her profile to suggest that she is a straight up racist, based on the evidence of her social media. Sorry for that. That was a little clumsy, but I wanted to look at her Facebook page without, pointing to her friends, because her friends really don't matter, in my view. So what else we got? I'm going to shut that down. Yeah, so ding, ding, ding. Let's go to the markets, and then we'll open up the chat. Markets are open. Last day before Christmas. Boo! Oh, down. Wow, down. Up. It was up big before the open, and now down. Dow Jones Industrial Average down 139. We are red for Santa Claus is not coming to town. Santa Claus is not coming to town. Everything red. Holy shit, red Christmas for you. You can see all the stocks that I cover on a daily basis, all down. Apple, Amazon, Google up a little bit, flat. Meta down, Microsoft down, Rivian down, Tesla down. Walmart on the shooting, or the alleged, the police shooting of the black woman, down 83 cents. What else? Military industrial complex stocks down. Holy vaccine stocks down. Moderna down 8. What happened, Moderna? I thought you had a cancer vaccine. Shit ain't going your way, man. You know what I'm saying, man? So anyway, man, there you go. There you go. Sutsu Cooter says the black racist got hooked on rap. Right. Oh, wow. Let's blame the music. Respectfully, Sutsu Cooter, does rap music promote black violence against others? Maybe. Did Ozzy Osbourne's early work and stage performance of biting off the heads of bats promote Satanism in America and abroad? I don't think so. Did Two Live Crews saying foul words, the 7 deadly fucking words that you can't say on TV, making songs about them, did that hurt anybody? I don't know, man. I'm very respectfully, I'm very reluctant to blame the music. Right? If there's a rapper who's expressing his racism and others want to listen to it, I don't blame him for his expression. I blame the jackasses that follow it. Right? So if you want to blame somebody for the rap music, blame the person that succumbs to the insanity of it, I guess I want to say. Interprets the music as being literal. Right? Like some people interpret religion as literal, like a man sitting on a cloud in the sky, per se. So anyway, thank you all for joining me, Mark Scondy reporting. Thank you so much for being here. Let's open up the live chat. Oh, shit. Let's do it. You want to come on the show, not to challenge me or anything stupid like that, or promote pornography or whatever stupidity. Just come on the show and say hello, man, and we'll kick it. You could say we'll talk to each other. I'm gonna join now. I'll turn my camera on in the spaceship. Starting the camera. I'm in the space capsule. Holy smokes, there I am. Oh my God, I can't hold on. I'm in the space capsule. I'm gonna join. I'm joining. Ding! I'm joining. I'm in the space capsule. Holy shit. And let's see who else is here. So if you want to join me, space capsule time. I'll be here waiting, and if anybody wants to come along. You guys are 25 seconds in my past. I am your future 25 seconds. Just bear in mind that when you come into the capsule. That's why I'm sitting here for 25 seconds and nobody's here, because you haven't seen it yet. if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean, Jelly Bean. If nobody wants to come on, that's always fine as well. I don't take it personal. I love everybody equally. And Weevil Girl says we all got red pilled for Christmas. Oh, I don't know. I don't like that word, red pill. What does that mean? It means like you're joining some kind of collective. That, oh, you're red pill. You're not red pill enough. What does that mean, red pill? I mean, it means that my perspective of world events is not as it's not the same as yours. Might be more extreme or less extreme in certain areas, or more open to both sides of the argument. I would say red pilling would, is kind of similar to racism. You see the world through this red lens, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sitting here talking to myself in the capsule. So what do you think, Conti? I don't know, man. I've been talking for an hour already. I don't know. I don't think anything really. I'm just smoking my pipe, So anyway, man. So I'll wait for the ding dong. If not, I'll kill it right here, man. I want to thank. I want to. You know what? Let's. It's already a little too gone. So I'll kill it here. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. And be safe, especially when you're in Walmart. Watch out for those. Watch out for young black women in leotards. Oh, whoa, wait. We got somebody. Weevil Girl's here. I'll stay for Weevil Girl anytime. What's up, Weevil Girl? How are you? I was ready to kill it. Here you are.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it took me a minute to get on.
Yeah, I know. I drop it when I'm done talking. But how you doing, man? How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm all right. I feel this. These stories. I wake up in the morning and I sit for, I don't know, an hour more. And I try to come out of that with that's my goal. Try to come out of it with a balanced perspective, I don't know if that's possible, but I do it. You know what I mean? I do it.
I think as long as you are speaking with your authentic perspective, that's what people come to see, right?
Right.
And that's what's missing from our dialogue,
Right.
because all we get is like corporate news and people with suits on doing what their boss tells them to do and have the perspective their corporate master wants. And so people are just hungry for that authenticity, especially the younger generations. I mean, they don't always know where to find it, or
Well,
that's what I think.
Let's talk about that. Where do you find it? Right? Where do you find that authenticity? Right? That is not something new or unexplored. In fact, many traditions point to exactly that's precisely what it is. It's sitting, allowing ego to dissolve, and then consciousness opens. And from that comes an authentic presence, because you lose the reference point of ego. It's not really like I'm not trying to defend my position, like red pill, for example, or I'm coming from a place of, I don't know, void, absence of ego.
Yes, to be the observer instead of having this like personal stake in it because your ego's caught up in it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Chung Yam Trungpa said something. You might like this. I love talking to you about meditation. This is wonderful. Thomas Robinson says you're very pretty, and you are. You are very pretty. It's okay to be pretty, man.
Thanks, Thomas.
It's okay to be pretty. It's okay to be smart. It's not okay to be fat. I know you don't like that.
I don't agree with that.
I know.
I have a lot of friends who are overweight, and I look at it as a class struggle. Like,
Okay.
I think they literally are poisoning our food. The FDA is corrupt.
Yeah, I agree, of course.
Yeah.
Is McDonald's polluted? Openly. of course, are processed foods corrupt? Of course they are. Get this point out. Chongyam Trongpa, a Tibetan meditator guy, said he said something very profound. I wanted to play the clip, but I forgot. He said about mindfulness. He said that you do this thing, and you don't necessarily know why you do it in the beginning. You think of a spiritual awakening as some sort of superpower that you're going to acquire, and so you sit mindfully and you follow the direction of people that came before you, and you sit there, and at moments you feel and you see gaps, and you feel this enormous sense of going in the right direction, and then it collapses, and then you're sitting there full of anxiety from out of nowhere, and you have to deal with it, and you've got but he said this about mindfulness. He said you're in a position where you have to let go of ego, and you realize that you have absolutely no comprehension whatsoever intellectually of what the hell you're doing. You don't know, you have no idea. That's precisely where you want to be. You have no idea what to expect, where it leads, right? All you know is that many people before you have freed themselves doing this. So you find yourself in this void of not knowing what's going on. But on the other hand, an enormous opening, this enormous other thing reveals itself. And you can't explain it. The more you try to explain it, the deeper into the hole you go, right? So therefore, the guru and the teacher, all they do is point it out. Nothing else. They have nothing else to offer other than pointing it out. And then
pointing in the direction, kind of just.
Right. This is what it is. It's not what you expect, but it's something vastly unshakable. And you you're then aligned with, you align yourself with, what people call God or universal flow. You know what? You're connecting to a stream of some sort. Now that sounds psychotic, and if you told that to, if you sat in front of a psychiatrist and they said, "Well, what are you thinking right now?" and you say, "Nothing really. I'm listening to your question. I don't really, but that's I found that very profound that he said that there's, in one part is not knowing at all what you're doing in terms of ego, but seeing clear and convincingly the nature of reality, how everything arises and falls apart, and things that we call death and birth, and stars and planets and air and water. It's all kind of just, life causes and conditions arise, and life springs up. And then it for some reason it doesn't appear to be there anymore, and we're part of that.
Yeah, people like to think they're like separate, right? We're separate. Our ego makes us feel separate, and we are individuals, but we're individuals that are actually still connected to everything around us. We're like, the earth is like a tree, and we're the apples. But the apples think they're completely separate from the tree. Right. It's kind of silly, right?
Who's the teacher, the apple or the tree? Who's leading who's really, if you wanted to put it in a hierarchy, who's running the show? The apple that gives food and seed for more tree, or the apple that produces it for its own survival? There's no way to define any of that. It's just,
which came first, the chicken or the egg, right?
It's just it's just happening, And it,
Yeah.
it becomes irrelevant to try to figure out which came first. A cycle. Right?
Yeah. It's all one. And then I guess what you were saying about the ego, basically, sometimes I feel like our connection to spirit and to everything around us, it's always there, but we don't always feel it. Sometimes we are very disconnected. We're caught up in our monkey mind. We're caught up in another kind of worldview or narrative. And we aren't sensing and actually being open to that idea that we're connected to everything, and we're not aware of it. We're disconnected from spirit. And the ego is almost like standing in between us and that connection to universal consciousness, or whatever you want to call it, God, creation. And our ego is standing right there in the middle. And really, you got to take control of your ego.
Creating chaos. And
we got to put our ego in our place.
And
Be
disease.
like, nuh-uh.
Ego
No,
stands
you walk
there.
back there.
Ego's like right in the middle at creating the chaos and there it is. But, I think you know the answer that when people say can meditation eliminate mental chatter of this nature that causes confusion in people and on a larger scale causes wars. Can it be solved through meditation? And the answer is that's the only way. There is no other way, right? You must take it from the individual perspective of I am the problem. I see the problem because I sit. Now that's non-negotiable, by the way. Right? Sitting. That's how it starts. Without a as the Buddhists say, Hinayana understanding of meditation, of mindfulness, the foundation of the Buddhist teaching, there is no way to understand it. There is no way to see it. There is no way to observe the destructive power of ego without sitting. It's not possible. And then in the Mahayana, the next step is to say, okay, well, now that I'm awake and I see the nature of reality, do I run into a cave and renounce the world? I don't think so. I think that renunciation is something that doesn't help you or anybody else. In fact, it hurts you. The idea is the Mahayana of generosity. How else do you say it? It chokes me up to talk about it because I've heard this for many years, and then you say, well, when you arrive at that place of equanimity, you say, well, you can only keep it by giving it away. You can only your job now is to offer it, right?
Yes, you don't run into the cave to escape the world now that you found out all the answers. You run out into the world. You run out of the cave into the world and say, guess what? I found some happiness.
Right.
I've found,
and no one's gonna believe what you say. They're gonna believe.
No, you have to experience it.
They're gonna believe it because it becomes clear that that's what you're experiencing. Right?
Yeah.
You don't tell
It's
someone,
a good feeling.
I don't have any resentments. I don't have any anger. It's all a show. Right? No one's gonna believe that. Right? It's sit for an hour in the same room, and then you'll understand. Right? If you want to sit for an hour or 5 hours or for 5 days in a row, and you'll then begin to understand just how powerful this thing that is confusing you really is, right? And it falls away. It falls away, and then it comes back. It comes back if you fail to continue it. At some point, it becomes, the permanent state. It's inescapable. I think.
Yeah, you have to put the ego in its place. It's always going to be there, but you can't be a slave to it. Right. I'm supposed to be controlling the ego. I'm supposed to be controlling my thoughts in some aspect. They're still going to come. Something about the snow and the cold of winter is that silent beauty of just being still.
Right.
Like the same as meditation.
Right.
So.
Meditate on the snow. Snow meditation. It's all there. Look at it. It's the clouds. It's behind the clouds. The planets are still there. The sun is still out. But
every snowflake is unique, just like every human. The snowflakes don't think they're separate from the rest of the world.
You're different than me. I'm different. I'm not a snowflake. They argue.
Look at me. I'm completely different than you.
I'm water.
Yeah.
You're something else, man. You're full of something else, man. I'm full of water.
Yeah, it's always good talking to you.
Yeah, good talking to you, Weevil Girl. I love talking to you. So have a Merry Christmas, and enjoy yourself. Go look out at the snow. Today is it's raining right now here, but
oh wow.
I'll be outside. I'm gonna run. It doesn't stop me. I go out. Tomorrow I'll be. It's gonna be like 5 degrees. Bundle up. Go enjoy the cold. Cold therapy, right?
Yeah.
Just
wear
make sure
layers.
Make sure you got something warm. A warm place to go. I'll see you, Weevil Girl. See you next week.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye. Peace. The wonderful Weevil Girl. Thank you. Marcus Conte reporting.